Hey everyone, let's have a quick chat about The Fifth Elephant. This is the 24th novel in the Discworld series and the fifth in the City Watch series. As usual, I wouldn't recommend starting here. We've hit the point where you can start in the middle of an ongoing series. There's too much background information on the City Watch you need to know to really fully enjoy the book. Of course, you could read it as a standalone and ignore that you don't know the characters and the background of the characters, and you would enjoy the story and you would enjoy the book. But like I say, you would be missing out. So, what's the book about? This book is a lot of fun as we see the City Watch leaving Ankh-Morpork to go to Überwald. The book is actually split between separate locations. We see things happening in Ankh-Morpork before and after Sam Vimes leaves for Überwald. We see Sergeant Colin being promoted to captain after Carrot also leaves for Überwald, which was not planned. And we see Carrot on his way to Überwald. There's the third location where things happen. And of course, Sam Vimes getting to Überwald and being in Überwald. Now, why is everybody going to Überwald all of a sudden? The new king or the low king in the dwarf kingdom in Überwald is going to be crowned, and there's a lot of political upheaval going on in the dwarf community in Ankh-Morpork and also in Überwald, and there's a lot of political unrest. So Sam Vimes gets sent by the patrician as an ambassador to go there, and his wife thinks, good time for a vacation, so they travel as ambassadors and have to represent Ankh-Morpork. So why does Carrot leave if he was supposed to take care of things in Ankh-Morpork while Sam Vimes was gone? And Carrot leaves because Angua has disappeared, and of course he follows her, which I love about him. He just decides to quit his job, which no one expected him to do, and go after her. I find it funny that even though it's an unexpected thing for him to do, it kind of is the thing that you expect him to do. I don't know. Loved it. Sam Vimes as an ambassador is, of course, an interesting choice, and he's more of a copper than an ambassador, but it's probably what they need right now. While he is gone and Carrot are gone, Sergeant Colin gets promoted to be captain and is completely overwhelmed. It is really fascinating to see him in this position, to see how the watch reacts to that, how everybody's dealing with things, and how they deal with the repercussions when they finally notice what's going to happen. I loved all of that. The story in Überwald is also very intriguing. It's captivating. You get to meet new characters. We get to meet vampires and werewolves, who are the ruling class next to the dwarves in Überwald. And it is a fascinating look on the world there, the living conditions, the ideas of vampires and werewolves and dwarves and the traditions they have, the rules and the lore they live by. It is fascinating to see. It's captivating, it's entertaining as usual. It's really making you look at things in a different way at some points, and the writing, as usual, sparkles. I can highly recommend this if you haven't read the book yet and you were kind of slowing down on your read on the Discworld novels. You should really get to this. What I also noticed when I read this, I have only read this one once before, I think, in German when I was in university when this came out. And I didn't pick up on a lot of things that I didn't know back then. I didn't know that there is a reference to a Russian classic in here, to the Three Sisters. But now that I've read the Three Sisters, I could pick up on this little tidbit. It's not important to know that it's a reference, but it just makes it more fun to see and recognize because you have the background of that story, of that play in your mind, and you can connect that to the whole situation. So it gives more background to that event. Back when I first read it, I also had never heard of the theory of the Ship of Thetis. And this is something you don't need to know to understand how Terry Pratchett explains it on a theory of an axe of a dwarf. And you still understand the philosophy behind it, but knowing that it's a philosophy now also gave me a deeper insight in what Terry Pratchett does in his books, in his writing, how he transfers ideas that are around into this medium of fantasy writing, which I think is what makes it so amazing. I've probably mentioned this multiple times before, that reading the Discworld has shaped my thinking in a lot of ways. And I'm pretty happy that it was in such good and capable hands to shape my thinking. I think I got a little bit off track here. What I was saying is, The Fifth Elephant is a fun, entertaining fantasy novel that makes you think, entertains you, and also educates you on different perspectives, politics, and philosophies. Pick up the Discworld novel. And of course, I want to know, if you have read The Fifth Elephant, what you have thought. Did you pick up on the philosophy or on the references to other stories? I really enjoy rereading them. Thank you all for watching, and let's talk in comments. Bye bye.